since you declined that phone call, and I'm very happy you did, will you run pronunciations since I can't read their handwriting very well?
So we won't see Diaz, but Diaz is like Diaz as if it's Diaz.
Okay.
Diaz. Gomez. I need to look up today's birthday boy, Mitchell Tainter. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Tainter.
I wish it was Spanish, so it'd be Taintor. And you can conjugate the taint. Hanzopoulos. Harris Hanzopoulos. Hayden Partain. Dariush Formella. Kind of like Darius.
Right.
Aleman. Skundrich.
Okay.
Barahona. Viljan Bijev. Dekel Kanon. Annie Voltson. Villarreal. Sorry. Elliot Horde. Stefano. Bonomo. Iwasa.
Yep.
Penagos. Sargis. Berumen. None of them have ever played.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
I don't want to complain how cold it is in here because of everybody else.
We can.
I actually went out last game. I went outside to warm up.
Just to thaw out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about we? What temperature would suit us all? 70.
70.
Well, let's call LSU and see what they would like.
Yeah. So I know Texas isn't typically the kind of program that would do that.
It's not an Art Briles run program.
And Skip Holtz didn't want any part of it.
Yeah.
Because he said, I don't know, he said we weren't hot, but we weren't cold.
Well, that means that you're doing okay.
Which kind of sounds like now, if he said I went and told someone, then they should have had that fit.
Testing 1, 2, 3 from the field. Testing.
Fourth official is William.
And there has to be, even if it's the most sincere injury ever, once you get to that many, there has to be a rule about that guy can't return for a quarter, or it does cost you a timeout, or something along these lines, where it's just your bad luck that he got hurt.
Yeah.
Because they still had 3 timeouts going in the fourth quarter.
No coaching. Team has to stay on the field.
No, that's the other thing, and they should not be able to huddle in any form.
Exactly.
Texas not once. And it's not like Baton Rouge is a dry heat.
Yeah.
LSU was the better team, but I love that there's a lot of LSU fans saying how they beat Texas's ass, and you're like, it was a touchdown game. What are you talking about? You won the football game. Somebody has to win the game, but. And then they were talking about the Heisman numbers their quarterback put up. I'm like, no, he did that against a Big 12 defense. Did you see what Ellinger did against the SEC defense?
Yep. Even the LSU coach said we couldn't stop him.
No, nobody could stop anybody. The difference was Texas stopped themselves. Well, and LSU gets credit for stopping them on the 1 or 2 in that first quarter, and that's the difference in your game.
Of course, we had the drop touchdown right there.
That running back, yeah.
It was a good game, though.
Yeah. Well, it gives you optimism that Texas in conference play will be pretty good if they're healthy.
And from my personal experience, I had LSU people all around me, and I didn't have any issue with them.
One high-fived me after Texas converted something. I was like, okay. I don't think anybody knew when the anthem was playing, though, that game.
I didn't either.
The band was playing the anthem, and everybody, even the most whitest people you've ever seen, were not, hand on heart, staring at the flag.
I had my hat on, and I was kind of looking around, and I was like, what?
No.
What's going on? Oh.
That's when I should have shamed everybody around me. Kaepernick.
Iowa was good.
I've never once seen one because I'm under the overhang, and so you hear it, but I've never seen it.
Sometimes you don't even hear them. It's like they put them on the whisper or something. I hate that.
Those electric planes.
So if you're going to play over, I want to hear it.
On this September 11th, the events of 18 years ago still fresh on our minds and on our hearts. Tonight's guests of honor, the Central Texas first responders looking to take in a USL Championship clash. Sacramento Republic, Austin Bold, round 2 here in the regular season. The first chapter back in the Golden State went the way of the Republic. Full 3 points stayed at home. Austin Bold looking to repay the favor here tonight with playoff implications certainly on the line in the Wild Wild West. Welcome into Bold Stadium. We take a look at that Wild West where the Bold still hanging on to 4th after the draw on the road at Colorado Springs. But you do the math. The victory were 3 points. Sacramento would pull level as it is a traffic jam from 4 on down to 10. Top 10 teams again will qualify into the Western Conference playoffs. Lincoln Rose, Kit McConical with you. And Kit, we talk about Sacramento, a standard bearer here in the West over the years, ever since claiming that title back in 2014. And the fans continue to pour in for their home matches. They're hoping to have a playoff home match, perhaps, at the expense of Austin.
Oh, this is a huge opportunity tonight for both these teams. Sacramento, if they can get the victory on the road, that would put them in the top 4. Conversely, Austin, as good as they've been at home, they need the full 3 points tonight to secure their place in the top 4 and hopefully host a first-round playoff match.
Standards of Sacramento being in the top 10, not good enough. They have made some late acquisitions, of course, including up top, trying to bolster that offense with Danny Voltson.
Yeah, the 32-year-old Danny Voltson has been outstanding this year. He's been with Sacramento for less than a month, 2 goals and an assist, and a team of the week last week in that 3-0 victory over Tacoma Defiance. Last year, he was the league's Golden Boot runner-up with 20 goals and 10 assists. Austin has to figure out a way to shut him down.
If Danny Voltson has his way, he'll be spending a lot of quality time around Diego Restrepo in the Bold's net tonight. Last time we saw Diego a week and a half back, his 8th clean sheet on the year helped lock up Copa Tejas for the Bold.
73 saves, tied for 4th best in the league this season. Austin has been led all year long by the defense, and that defense led by Restrepo. He's going to be tested tonight. He's going to have to come up big if Austin is going to get the full 3 points in this match.
The playoffs might as well begin tonight. Huge 3 points on the line for Sacramento and Austin. Opening kick when we return.
There's the starting 11. Starting off with number 17, Sion McFarland. Number 3, Edson Crawford. Number 8, Javi Baez. Number 9, Ogladiador Clever. Number 45, Emma Trumasi. Number 24, Diego Restrepo. Number 15, Amobi Akugo. Number 99, Andre Lima. Number 4, Jermaine Taylor. Number 27, Valery Sadamutin. And number 33, Sonny G. The head coach for the Austin Bold, Marcelo Serrano. Let's go Bold! Tonight, Austin Bold FC would like to welcome representatives from HEB for the official team photo. Jones, Public Affairs Manager, and Amber Schiff, Senior Accountant Account Manager. Amber is joined by her 2 sons, Dylan and Jace. HEB is the official grocery partner of the Bowl.
Moments away from 90 minutes for a critical 3 points for one of these two sides and their ambitions to claim as high of a seat as possible in the West. We take a look at our starting 11 for both squads. First up, the men for Simon Elliott in his 2nd year at the helm of the Republic. And while we talk about Innie Voltson's addition at top, we don't overlook the man on loan from Minnesota United with that thick MLS resume, Bobby Shuttleworth, and what he's done back in goal so far. A couple of shutouts through 4 matches.
The spine of this team is so good. Shuttlesworth in back. And then you look up top at Wasa Cam. He is Sacramento born and bred, leads this team, the leading goal scorer in all appearances. In the midfield, Villarreal, Innie Voltson, very good through that center third.
As for Marcelo Serrano, well, he allowed some of his veterans to stay home for that draw against Colorado Springs, and that should give him a full-strength lineup tonight.
And they're going to need it tonight. You see him, Clever and Lima, the Brazilians up top. Guamasi will sit just a bit beneath them. The strength in that back line. Sian McFarland not feeling 100%. I spoke with him before this match. We'll see how long he can go, along with Taylor Nkugo in front of Restrepo.
Guamasi fresh off his first ever goal and game winner in the last home match to claim Copa Tejas. Lincoln Rose, Kip McConico with you, and for the first time tonight, we go pitch sign and check in with Jessica Stamp. Jessica?
Hey, Lincoln. So you guys mentioned that there's a handful of games left in the season. Both these teams need to come out with a lot of intensity. Look at that right side, and they're going to send a lot of players up that flank and put pressure on each other. Look for Jordan McCreary for the Republic, and look for McFarland on that side. They're going to send numbers forward right away. They need this win, both these teams, to end the season. Lincoln?
Jessica, thank you. Again, great to have Jessica down on the pitch. Marcelo Serrano, of course, the only head coach that this inaugural campaign franchise has ever had. His side gig, head coach of the U.S. Virgin Islands, not too shabby.
Not a bad deal. Ryan Thompson, goalkeeping coach there on his right. For the Bold, important to start well. We mentioned Sian McFarland. He is one of the best in the entire league at turning defense to offense. We'll see how much he has in the tank tonight. With him on the pitch, the Bold are another team, and they really need him pressing down that right flank, as Jessica mentioned.
Sacramento wearing the gray and white hoops tonight. The Bold with the teal and black. Guamasi looking for the early opportunity within 20. Has a dance partner, splits the wickets, and Shuttleworth tested for the first time.
Nice save there from Shuttlesworth. What you want to see from Austin. Got Chuamasi in space, so good running at defenders, ball at his boot. Shuttleworth, the man on loan, the New York native on loan from Minnesota United, impressive. And he's going to, well, it's going to have to take something more to beat him.
Yeah, already a decade in Major League Soccer, including that time in the MLS Cup final with New England back in 2014, the same time that Sacramento was locking up its first USL championship.
Former University of Buffalo man, Shuttleworth, a great goalkeeper. And we're seeing two fantastic goalkeepers tonight. He and Restrepo on both sides. Anticipate them both getting a lot of work. But as I mentioned, it's going to take something special with goalkeepers of this caliber on both sides.
Republic coming off its 11th shutout on the year with 3 different goalkeepers combining to amass those 11 clean sheets. Bouncing back from a couple of results that did not go their way, understandably against Phoenix and then against Los Dos. Both these cities have watched their teams look like world beaters one day and then struggle against teams that they perhaps shouldn't be struggling against the next weekend.
Consistency has been an issue. It's been a problem for both of these teams. Their defense has kept them in it.
Again, back in the box with Clever. But Sacramento puts enough numbers on him, including the birthday boy, Mitchell Tainter. Happy birthday to Mitchell. I know there's no other way he'd rather be spending 90 minutes of his evening than matching up against the Brazilian captain.
Clever pulling the strings offensively. All the talk about the Austin defense. Well, for Old Glory Red, the 4th best defense in the Western Conference, having given up only 29 goals in league play all season long.
Ball out wide to Barahona. 20 caps with the El Salvador national team. This one in the area, just a tad heavy.
Barahona, a very talented player, came from Santa Tecla, the cream of the crop of Salvadoran football. And that's a good ball. That's what you're going to see from the visitors. They want to play it up to Iwasa, Innie Voltson in that center third. Both talented, both can lay it off to the other. We saw that last week in the victory over Tacoma. Just a great 1-2 pairing.
A man not getting the start tonight after coming off the bench for a rare occasion in their last outing for Sacramento is Sam Warner. I mention him because he's about as prolific as anybody in this league, sending dangerous balls into the area.
What a luxury that is to have a player like Warner. He is on the substitutes bench. I have a feeling we'll see him in the second half. But Innie Voltson, as I mentioned, he's been in Sacramento for less than a month. He and Iwasa have been on the same page from day one. And that poses fits for opposing defenses.
What a great treat on this Wednesday evening, a midweek clash between Sacramento and Austin, a match decided by just that lone goal on April 6th. Bold had only at that time played one home match. That was their third road contest. Still struggling to find results on the road at that time.
Yeah, that was a fantastic match, back and forth through 85 minutes, and then Jaime Villarreal, his volley, gave the home team the full 3 points there at Papa Murphy's Park.
Again, the opportunity out wide here with Iwasa. Iwasa sends in a cross, and Restrepo makes sure that there is no teammate on the receiving end of that one.
Already box-to-box action. Sacramento really wants to press Austin. They want to see what this team has. Austin, an older roster, one of the oldest in all of USL Championship. They want to force them to play fast, to get into a track meet to see if they can keep up.
Take a look at your keys to the matchup for Sacramento here on the road.
Golden opportunity. A win tonight could move them into the 4th place in the conference. A great opportunity that they cannot let slip through their fingers and force the issue. As I mentioned, they want to play fast. They want to dictate the pace of the game, and they want to put pressure on Austin to see if they'll make mistakes.
Certainly have the talent to do so. And with that said, Bold about as deep as any team in this league here in year number 1. They were eyeing 3 prizes when they kicked off this season. First, they wanted to succeed in the U.S. Open Cup. They wanted to claim Copa Tejas. They have done 1 of 2, and they still have that 3rd prize on the horizon, playing for a USL Championship Cup.
And the Bold in a great place. This is the healthiest they've been all year long. I spoke with head coach Marcelo Serrano earlier this week. He said, we have 25 players that we can choose from to put on that match day roster, and that is not something they've been able to say thus far this season.
We saw one of the newest Bold players, Reese, get his first ever start at Colorado Springs and ultimately would claim the equalizer to allow Austin to leave Colorado with a point.
Yeah, he's one of those new additions from Cruzeiro, giants of Brazilian football. Gustavo Reis brought players like George Acosta, who played in Argentina, was on the US U17 side. So a lot of young players bringing some fresh legs and then getting players healthy. The perfect time for Austin.
Shuttleworth already commanding the back line. 32-year-old. Joined this club a little over a month ago now. Was back on August 6th officially. And he joined the Republic.
Shuttleworth so good with the ball at his feet. He's calm, doesn't get flustered. And you see that in goalkeepers today. It's past the days where you could play it back and he could pick it up with his hands. If you play in goal, you have to be able to play with the boots as well.
Take a look at what it'll take for Austin to claim yet another victory here at home.
Well, they can't give this talented Sacramento side chances, especially with that talented attack. They have to shut them down and do so quickly. The most experienced team in the league. It's crunch time, and they need to let that experience show. And home sweet home, Austin has been 2 teams, 1 home and away. They're hoping that home side that has lost just twice here at Bold Stadium shows up tonight.
When Sacramento got off the plane, they had to have been wondering if somebody was pulling a prank, and they were just back home again with the temperatures being about 20 degrees cooler than they have been on average this week and for most of August and September. Downright reasonable, low 80s now into the high 70s as the sun retires on this Wednesday.
One of the first days that has not been in triple digits in the last 6 weeks. And that is definitely a break for the visitors from the Golden State.
Sacramento unintimidated by Lima, the target forward right now, pulled back into the midfield for Austin.
It'll be interesting to see how they control Lima. Has a big body, plays so well with his back to goal, able to lay the ball off to onrushing teammates. And so far, they're doing a good job shutting him down, getting defenders to him quickly.
Ultimately, Barahona kept it from Chuamasi for a moment. Ima, this one deflected, a corner kick coming up for the Bold. First big set piece here for the home side comes in the 8th minute.
Great work, and you saw it right there. Clever. He had the ball laid off to him by Lima, played it out to the man from Ghana. Ima Chuamasi just shows his speed, was in an onside position, timed it perfectly. The deflection wins the set piece for Austin.
On loan from FC Dallas for the remainder of the season, along with teammate Francis Atuahene. Here's Edson Braffard, and, well, he's not going to need a lot of rest down the stretch after missing the first half of the season, waiting for paperwork to clear.
Yeah, the man with possibly the best CV in all of USL Championship, former Netherlands national team member.
Republic get the first touch, a precarious one, but ultimately no damage done.
And this is when Austin is well, it's when they can be bit, when they commit numbers forward, and they have to be careful. Don't have the speed. Teams have found success in the counterattack against them.
And Sacramento trying to string victories together, and as a result, continue to climb back up the West. Flag stays down. Restrepo well off his line. Stops this with his feet. Out for a stroll.
Austin has been so good at home. On the road, it's been a completely different story. And that being the case, they have 3 final matches here at Bold Stadium before taking to the road for the final 4, and they need to come up with 9 points in these final 3 matches. Jaws won't do it.
Well, for Sacramento now in year 2 of the Simon Elliott era, the 45-year-old Kiwi, for years had a chance to represent his home country there of New Zealand.
From Wellington originally, came stateside to play for the Stanford Cardinal at the collegiate level and has since called the state's home, but you mentioned his 69 caps for New Zealand.
As a couple of former members of the Cardinal program now playing for him. Chuamasi. As the defender McFarland pushes forward. And Sion is so creative sending balls into the box. One of the more talented defenders you'll see with an offensive mindset. But that time, well played, ultimately shut down again by Barahona.
Yeah, nice job there. Able to get to it before it trickled out over the end line. Concedes the throw as opposed to the corner. Austin doing a good job playing on this right flank, getting to Amasi in space.
You mentioned Sion not 100%, but most of us would be thrilled to be able to compete at even 30% of Sion McFarland's talent and capability. Guadarrama. Rare touch for the local here in this matchup here in the first half.
Oh, poor there from Brafai. Just gave it away, had it, and had Guadarrama with him. Could have played it on to Sonny G. Instead elected to go on his own, and Austin lucky to retain possession.
Into Kleber. Kleber was your leading goal scorer for Austin through the first few months before Andre Lima finally took over, and Andre thought he was going to be able to pounce on one right there, but a handball called on Austin.
That one just bouncing up, caught the hand of Kleber. Lima was ready to address it, ripped that one toward the goal of Shuttleworth. Austin right now playing good combinations. They're playing quickly, playing to feet, using the space.
Under the lights here on a Wednesday evening, as the sun retired a little bit earlier than usual, hiding behind some clouds.
Possession's so important for the Bold. They didn't have it in that first game on the road when they lost to Republic FC. They only had 36% of possession that night. It's something they traditionally like to dominate. So far, you've got to imagine it's closer to 50-50.
On the edge of that 18, and now it's Sacramento who comes knocking. They'll have a corner kick. Diego Restrepo again, last home match week and a half ago against RGV with the 3-0 clean sheet, 8 on the year for the former national champion out of Virginia. Of course, more recently professional in Florida and here in Texas with SAFC and now Austin.
Won the 2017 USL Championship Goalkeeper of the Year.
Couple hops into Formella. Bold not in the clear just yet. Opportunity staring down Restrepo. Right-handed stop for the veteran. And a dangerous effort on the bicycle on the 6.
What a save from Diego Restrepo. Great stuff on the spot. Had to make it. Poor clearance from Austin. Bounces right into the path. Mahoney. And he couldn't find a way around Restrepo.
It's going to be another corner kick here for Sacramento. After that bicycle deflected off a Bold defender. Aleman. Seen time with the Canadian national team after being born in Costa Rica, moving to Ontario at age 10. Looks to send this one in for the opening goal for Sacramento. About 8 yards out, but nobody on the back end. So Diego Restrepo, we talk about a draw at Colorado Springs, 1-1 this past weekend. That could have easily been a 2-1 defeat. A penalty to put it away for Colorado Springs was stopped stone cold by Restrepo. The rebound came right back at him as well as he came up with a double save.
The only reason Austin walked away from the Rocky Mountains with a point was because of those 2 huge saves, amongst others, in that match from Restrepo.
And he answers with that right hand just a moment ago to deny Mahoney. Sacramento building up again.
Sacramento knows Austin likes to possess. They like to dictate things. Sacramento patient right now.
Formella tried to sneak one over the top of the 18. And this will be awarded to Austin. 13.5 minutes in. And these two teams, much different looking squads when they met the first time in Sacramento for that 1-0 decision for the Republic.
Austin, certainly a much more reinforced side as you take a look at the season comparison where these two teams are. And Austin in 4th place with just a +1 goal differential.
Yeah. You could also flip that if we were on the road. Both teams have obviously played well in the friendly confines in the West. It is a tough task, no matter who in the West you are playing, to claim 3 points on the road. But Austin has been a stingier team, at times a lower scoring team, and a couple of blowout losses have at times had them with a negative goal differential.
Both these teams similar in their last 5 matches, both the 2-2-1 record. Consistency.
Looking for Chuamasi. Barahona defending him on the edge. McFarland with a touch to Kleber. And Guadarrama unable to put it away.
Miscommunication between Guadarrama and Kleber. Kleber made the touch on it. It was a poor touch, and it appeared that Sonny Guadarrama had a better angle coming in from the top of the box. Chuamasi doing a good job, able to track it down, and lays it off to Sion, and there it is, and that was a much easier ball for Sonny.
Often we will credit Kleber with having the slightest of touch to help aid a ball like that, or perhaps simply step over it. That was not the case there. As the arm at the side of Formella when he makes contact with that. Another one of these mid-season additions after 7 years in Poland. Both these rosters have had a little bit of tinkering done here in the second half. Still trying to improve.
And you can already tell for Austin, they're going to ask a lot of him and Chuamasi tonight. With a less than 100% Sion McFarland, he's going to be tasked with pressing up and down that right line. Not just offensively, but getting back in the midfield on the defensive side as well.
Kleber called for the foul. With some urgency building. Flag stays down, and now a whistle.
That's the combination that Sacramento wants to play. Ini Voltson and Iwasa, those two. And Austin needs to get bodies in that center, shut them down quicker, because if they have time to operate, as Sacramento fans saw against Tacoma, those two may be the best 1-2 pairing up top in the entire league.
Annie Voltson with 2 recent braces at home, including that victory the other night against Tacoma, with goals in the 13th and 75th minutes. Boy, he and Iwasa playing so well. Iwasa found the 3rd goal in that match, as both able to create and finish.
Iwasa, just a great story. Sacramento born and bred, went to Jesuit, played for the Marauders, the Carmichael native, and he thought baseball was going to be his future. Instead, he's had a pretty good one here on the pitch.
Chuamasi past one defender, right-footed delivery deflected wide, and then Republic finally buy themselves some breathing room. Well, Chuamasi in a lineup that includes Kleber and Lima up top.
And he adds the one thing that neither one of the Brazilians have, speed. They have the touch, but number 45, speed in spades, able to beat the man, plays it in, and that is what Austin is going to ask him to do all night long, run at defenders and make something happen.
And Chuamasi makes his 8th start of the year for Marcelo Serrano, 12th appearance overall. Last year, about this time, was on loan to OKC with the Energy from FC Dallas after being a rookie last year, drafted in the 1st round by FC Dallas. He has seen 3 matches in MLS. Chuamasi here again. Oh, great speed from behind by Barahona.
Wonderful stuff from the Salvadoran. Austin fans wanted a foul, but he just came from behind and got the ball cleanly. And in that situation, when you go to ground, especially making a tackle from behind, you have to get all ball. Barona did.
Iwasa doing his best to pester the back line of the Bold and try to hop on a miscue as Restrepo directs traffic. Restrepo, the 31-year-old, born in Venezuela, lived in Colombia till he was 11. Came to the States, went to IMG Academy before, again, his UVA career. And now his career in the NASL and USL.
I asked him on Monday night who he was rooting for in the friendly between Venezuela and Colombia. He gave me, as you might imagine, a very political answer.
Through traffic, and ultimately Shuttleworth had to put a halt to that one.
Austin, the build up there, Brofide, just lost it at the last second, did the former Bayern Munich man.
Is that what losing it looks like? He still somehow wrapped it around with that left boot, just didn't get everything he wanted on it.
Jurgensen Brofide, the standard a little higher, I would say.
Kleber again to Chuamasi. Flag stays down for Ema. What does he have in mind? Now it's just a guessing game for the defense, packed back into the 18. Into traffic. Too tall for the target of Lima.
Chuamasi and McFarland just ran out of ideas there. They were not on the same page. You would like to see McFarland maybe play that ball back to him and then vacate the area, bring his defender with him instead. 2 men in white there, and nowhere for number 45 to go.
They'll get another crack at it. McFarland. And flag stayed down. Guadarrama trying to put it away. Shuttleworth able to squeeze it in with all 10 digits.
And it is abundantly clear that Austin wants to play up the right side. They want to get it. Timothy Chuamasi, he is going to be the instigator on offense. Guadarrama, a late touch. He settled it, and it appeared that he wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do with it. That gave the defense time to get in position.
Sonny Guadarrama, who played his high school ball north of here at Cedar Park. And the caution will go his way.
A fan favorite, a local hero. Did 10 years in Mexico in the first and second division. Brofide trying to plead the case of his teammate.
John Freeman leads our crew of Francisco Bermudez along with Jeremy Weed.
A yellow card has been presented to the Austin Bold. In the 21st minute, number 3, it's Brofide.
And it is Brofide receiving the yellow.
That's been an issue for Brofide in this season. He picked up a red in a match. He's picked up a lot of cards. He hasn't really been able to attune his style to what he's seen here in USL Championship.
Let's check in with Jessica.
Hey guys, you talked about how they're overloading that right side with Tumasi. They're also keeping it away from this other side where McCreary has been dangerous up top, helping out Ini Voldsen and pushing forward. So a key for the Bold is keeping the ball, but also switching it to the opposite side of the field and keep finding Tumasi on that right side.
Thank you very much. Republic, not the only Californians in the house. Of course, Jessica played her college ball over there at UCLA for some coach named Jill. As we are now in the 23rd minute. And both sides think they should have had one by now.
They both had opportunities, but both goalkeepers, Bobby Shuttleworth and Diego Restrepo, have come up big.
And this will go back over to Sacramento. Sacramento sitting on a 500 record right now. 11 wins, 11 losses, and 4 draws. Good enough for 7th in the West. A year ago, finishing 2nd in this half of the league with 19 victories and 8 draws. Still trying to find that second title to keep the 2014 Cup some company back at home. Right now, looking for the opening advantage. Iwasa sitting on 13 goals. Lays this one out. Bold want an offside call. They will not catch the break there. And it is the dynamic duo for the Republic here.
Who else? Iwasa to Ini Voldsen. A great ball. No one on Innie Voltson left wide open. 39th goal of the year scored by Sacramento Republic, and just too easy. All the focus on 31. Miscommunication. Okugo not getting back the Sacramento native. And Tomas Innie Voltson just slots it to the post. Clinical finish.
So 10th goal for Innie Voltson now in his combined year with the 11 and the Republic.
What a month he has had.
Again, a couple of braces in recent outings. Halfway there tonight. And nothing Diego Restrepo really could have done about that. You're staring at a man with 13 goals who decides to lay it off to his teammate who's now in double figures.
He won the league's Golden Boot runner-up last year, I should say, with 20 goals, 10 assists. And that pairing, he lost in Innie Voltson. You cannot say enough about it.
A foul on Austin gives this back to the Republic in the center circle.
And of all the men to leave open, you figure maybe Aleman, Villarreal, or Mela, one of those guys, but there's no way that you can leave number 23 or 31 open, and that is just what Austin did.
Sacramento shut out Austin back in April. If they can do so here tonight, they'll be just the third team to ever beat Austin here at Bold Stadium. And along the way, again, 3 valuable points for this late push in the West.
And their defense, 11 clean sheets this season. They would love to pick up a 12th on the road and a win.
Austin hasn't been shut out since apparently Phoenix has a team in this league. That was 6-0 on the road.
Austin knows that not just about finishing in the top 4, that would be best case scenario, but if they want to stay in the playoff picture, if they want to stay in the top 10, only 3 points separating 4th from 10th place, they need to get these victories at home before heading to the road. Make no mistake about it, this is a critical match for the Bold. They know that. Now they're going to have to play from behind, a place that they're not accustomed to being in.
We saw Guadarrama come on in the second half against Colorado Springs. And several of these starters, including Sarah Mooten and Kleber, were rested last weekend. Braffide and Taylor as well, getting the start tonight as your top options for Serrano.
And Austin, not a lot of firepower offensively on the bench. Francis Atua-Hene on loan from FC Dallas, probably the top forward in the substitutes bench for Austin. The local product, Roberto Avila, there as well, and DeMar Phillips, who can play just about anywhere on the pitch.
And that yellow quickly flying out of the pocket as it'll be awarded to Skundrich. Skundrich, part of that national championship pipeline from Stanford to Sacramento. Be on the wrong end of a caution here.
Skundrich there, poor decision, committed the foul. Drew Skundrich, Pennsylvania native, grew up playing club ball with a guy by the name of Christian Pulisic.
Baez, Kleber, looking for one more. Lima somehow stays on it. McFarland begging for it with space on the right side.
And they have to get the ball out to him.
Sent into traffic, and Lima never saw it coming.
All the focus in that center third and on that far left side. Sean McFarland, no one within 15 meters of him, screaming for the ball. And Austin has to do a better job of recognizing when they have a wide open man in that kind of position.
Well, that's a stressful moment for a Sacramento fan, but of course Austin really never had anything organized. It's like a striker having that ball right under their foot, but they just can't quite get it out from under their boots. And as a result, the Bold still trail by 1.
Sacramento doing a good job recovering defensively, getting numbers behind the ball. They have that speed and the fitness level to push forward, but to get back.
Well, a reminder, Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship in many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, you can visit selectsportamerica.com.
Sacramento doing a good job recognizing that Chuamasi, he is going to be the guy on offense, and they are bringing a help defender very quickly when number 45 for the home team has the ball.
Bold will be right back here at home in action on Sunday when Las Vegas comes to town. Again, Bold are wrapping up their home schedule at the first half of this month. They're going to have to be road warriors to hang on, not just to a home playoff spot, but to be any of the top 10 spots in the West as close as things are.
Oh, you're right, but they can't worry about that right now. They have to figure out a way to come back. They need the victory tonight.
McFarland. This is a defender going to work. As he ran into a Mack truck.
Good to see that from Sion McFarland. Not 100%, but still able to run it defenders.
Chuamasi with some space. And Lima did not have quite enough open space to receive that one.
Good to see Javi Baez getting involved offensively. Haven't seen him, haven't called his name tonight. Former Chivas Guadalajara star.
Javi sends this one in. From distance, Guadarrama will send that one over towards the catch-up stand.
Poorly taken there from Sonny G. Ball came out to him, and you see again Sion McFarland, the Jamaican, running at defenders. A lot of contact, but a nice tackle there from Mitch Tainer.
A birthday boy, I don't know if he was playing the ball that time, but apparently now we know his wish. Shuttleworth has done a nice job when he's been called upon. That back line has not failed him yet.
But for Austin offensively, it's been too much one-on-one. It's been having one guy, be it Sion McFarland, be it Chuamasi, whoever the case, running at defenders and everyone off ball watching. They have to move the ball quicker and get numbers involved in that offensive third.
Looking for insurance, as that one heavy up to Restrepo. And again, reminder fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. USL excited to announce championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. And Restrepo, just for some reason, misread that ball, and it is a gift-wrapped delivery for Formella to slam home. I don't know what Diego was expecting.
2 huge mistakes defensively from the Bold, and they have resulted in 2 Sacramento goals. This one, you see the look, just utter confusion, perplexed Diego Restrepo right across the top of the 6. It took a deflection, no one there. Formella takes a look, says, am I onside?
This looks like a ball where the Republic just misplay it, and it'd be an easy one for Diego, but he had already committed, and you did see that slight deflection, and for him, someone who reads a ball so well, perhaps over-anticipating one direction, and as a result, it is a bunny for number 2.
I take less issue with Restrepo not making a play than his defense, just leaving Formella there. The man from Poland, I mean, wide open. You saw him look back. If anybody was going to come mark him, that is as easy a goal as he is ever going to score. A man who played in Europa League and Champions League qualifiers.
I'll guarantee you it's the best goal he scored this year. His first in a little over 100 minutes of play. As he gets his 2nd start of the year tonight. And now the Bold have their work cut out for them.
Good news is an entire hour remains, but they are going to have to get something going. The defense, we said in the open, it's the strength of this team. The defense has been their Achilles heel in the first half hour.
The Bold had opportunities earlier. They could have easily been up 2-0. But Sacramento has solidified around the area. And of all the ones to go home, Kleber will take credit for that one. number 7 on the campaign for the Brazilian. Look what I found. And just instinct sends it to the back of the net.
That's exactly what it was. A goal scorer in every sense of the word. Grew up in that Sao Paulo youth system, played for Dynamo Kiev. The defender misplays it clever. Right on his forehead, just leans back. So good, so talented. The experience, a massive response from Austin.
You saw the flashing red and blue lights here on First Responder Night. Well, the Bold needed a response.
Las Cinco Doce, supporters group of the Bold on their feet and making noise. And Austin fans stunned. They were down 2-0, 30 minutes in. That is the response. And you can credit the Gladiator.
I'll admit, slightly entertained. About to say farewell to the 34th minute. Kleber gets the Bold on the board. There will be no 12th clean sheet of the year for Sacramento here tonight.
So if you're Sacramento, you can't worry about that. Just go back to doing what you were doing. The reason you were up 2-0. Continue to press.
Okugo.
Maintain possession. Forced Austin's defense into numerous mistakes. See if you can keep it up.
Kleber wanted a handball, not intentionally played as this continues. All of a sudden, just the one goal separating the two feels a lot less comfortable for Sacramento. For all we know, this is going to be a 9-8 kind of night.
May well be, unless these defenses really step it up.
This ball has been flowing. Two capable offensive sides.
That's been part of the issue with the consistency. Is the offenses, by and large, have been there for these teams. Defenses, it's been a hit or miss.
Barona unable to settle it on that first touch inside the area. Up the spine as Lima comes back to help in the midfield.
Good work there from Baez, playing on to Lima, then a poor final ball.
It's Formella's goal right now that stands as the difference maker. And for those of you with a second screen, a reminder that the Wednesday night game of the week, of course, opposite of us right now, Phoenix Rising and Las Vegas. Phoenix did it again at the expense of San Antonio. After 80 minutes, they were level this past weekend. As Restrepo able to handle that deflection off the boot of one of his defenders. Again, over there out west, San Antonio, just like a handful of teams this year, found themselves thinking we might be able to take a point away from these individuals out here in Phoenix with the record-setting wins, but should have known better.
Man, there's a reason Phoenix, not just the best team in the Western Conference, but in all of USL Championship, the Rising have been on fire this season. And as good as they are, they've been in tight matches. They haven't all been blowouts. They always figure out a way to win. Coming away with those 3 points, they've locked up their playoff spot.
Again, with the time zone difference, we're essentially the matinee of the doubleheader. Besides, it's a dry heat over there. But Phoenix Rising, of course, they've already locked up a playoff spot, and they're getting closer to locking up the regular season Western Conference crown. As well as they have played, they still have two teams that otherwise would be breathing right down their necks for that top spot.
And Austin's going to see one of those teams on Sunday in Reno as they come to town.
It'll be the second to last home match for the Bold, with Las Vegas being the home finale on September 22nd, barring a playoff game. Jermaine Taylor. I mean, you talk about the resumes of all these guys on the back line, each requiring a thick staple or two.
Taylor certainly up there as well. 100+ games for the Reggae boys.
They'll try to test the defense. As Restrepo still asking for more.
And you see 4 Austin defenders there, only 2 Republic forwards, and still able to win the set piece.
Well, even Guadarrama was coming back from the midfield, having to help out.
Scunders that time.
We remind you what it's all about here tonight. The Bold, with a draw this last weekend, still able to hang on to that coveted top 4 seed. Top 4 teams in the West and in the East will host a playoff game. Sacramento, though, still in the running for that. At the same count, they could easily be left out of the postseason if they don't have enough matches go their way.
But important to remember, they have a game in hand as well.
So a big clash tonight. Austin could bolster its argument for coming back and having a home match in October. As Restrepo organizes the troops, Kevin Aleman will tender the flag as he tries to go with a wedge here. Bending in, Restrepo. Not impressed. Guadarrama, the counter building for the Bold, looking for the equalizer. Chuamasi. And now is a situation where if you're McCrary, you need to be careful with Chuamasi on your stomach, still sticking your feet out. Easily could have set up a penalty. Instead, it'll be Ema called for the foul.
And a poor touch from Sonny Guadarrama. He had 2 men there, McFarland pressing forward and Chuamasi, and he put it right between the 2 of them, and I'm not sure that they knew who that ball was intended for. That gave Republic defense a chance to get in to knock it away.
And Coach Elliott looks on as one of his men currently down. But Jordan McCrary found himself down on the pitch, still contesting that with his boot. Let's check in with Jessica.
To the side, Coach Elliott pulled his defenders to the side after that second goal, and he really wanted them to shore up that back line to get out of this half with a clean sheet. But you know that 2-0 lead is a delicate time, that next 5 minutes, and the Bold came back, countered during that time, and got that 1 goal back. So Elliott not pleased with his defenders about letting that goal in immediately after their second.
Jessica, thank you. You know, we try to avoid these cliches, and in soccer, we love to point out 2-0 is such a dangerous lead to have, but it just seems to hold true time and time again. That's not where Chuamasi's called for the foul. It's at this point. And then, fortunately, did not land the left elbow.
He clearly caught the back of Bejarana there. Bejarana's done a very good job defensively. I've been impressed with what he's been able to do, shutting down Austin when they've been in his vicinity.
Yeah, Juan was signed back in May after being a competitor in the Division I of El Salvador's top league. So Barahona was tangled up with Chuamasi.
Yeah, I mentioned what he did there. Santa Tecla, 4 league titles, 2 domestic cups in 6 years, also 20 caps for the national team.
Meanwhile, you look at the former Seattle Sounder and McCrary, a part of that back line for Sacramento, making his 19th start in 19 appearances. He'll get that shin guard back in place.
Jessica mentioned Coach Elliott. I think he would be pleased for his side to get out of this half with this 2-1 lead intact. Austin with a quick response after the second goal was scored. They've started to look better. They found starting to find their footing offensively. I have a feeling the visitors would like to get back to the locker rooms to talk things over.
Andre Lima's been held fairly quiet. Again, the leading goal scorer for the Bold, sitting on 10.
And the midfield from Austin has to get more involved. Talking about Javi Baez, Valeri Saramutin, those guys. Sonny Guadarrama have not played much of a factor.
See if the Bold can regain the momentum. They lost a moment ago with the foul. Okugo.
Okugo, the Sacramento native, I asked him pre-match if he knew any of these guys on their public side. He smiled and said about half of them. This is a big match for him.
Had that brace against New Mexico United in a 2-2 draw. Kleber.
And even though Austin wins the foul here in the free kick, it's too much one-on-one from Austin. Too much off-ball watching, not enough off-ball movement.
Is there such thing as having too much creativity on the pitch at the same time? You got Sion McFarland, who loves to create from the back line. Up top, a guy like Kleber. Chuamasi we've seen now plug right into the mindset of this club.
You can create, but you want to do it in combination.
And all of a sudden, we aren't talking about Javi Baez as much. This one over the top. Flag poised to stay down. Formella looking for a brace. No, trying to share the wealth. It'll be a corner kick coming up for Sacramento here in the final couple of minutes of the opening half.
And a wise play there from Brafide. Man bearing down on him. Just elected to do the sure thing and concede the corner.
Formella's goal, his first of the year with Sacramento, holding up as the difference maker right now. Came off the bench this past weekend for the final 11. Gets the start tonight, the 23-year-old. As Aleman, in his second year with Sacramento, again will handle this corner.
Aleman, who came from the Costa Rican Giants, Deportivo Saprissa.
Looking to find another insurance score here. Restrepo punches it away. Did not feel like he could collect it.
A lot of bodies in front of Restrepo. Didn't think that he could come up with that cleanly, but he punched it down. You want to punch that up and out of the 18.
First two goals tonight belong to Sacramento. Bold able to respond with its first goal this year against the Republic side. We'll have a couple of minutes, says a little bird in my ear, of stoppage time. And now official with our fourth official.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 2 minutes.
Give William Hale the credit
in the first half.
Restrepo will come out and answer this one. McFarland with the final touch. This one back over to Sacramento. And again, fans, you'll be able to continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. USL is excited to announce that the championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL. And again, at least 19 matches a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 a year on ESPN Deportes. So you'll be able to continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's proven to be such a great platform, not just for the USL Championship and League One, but find so many other of your favorite sporting events, whether it's strictly soccer or a variety of competition. Kleber trying to level the Bold here. Back to Lima, one Brazilian to the other. Little give and go, but they're going to settle for a toss.
Kleber was looking for the shot, just couldn't find any space. Well defended, a wall of white kits in front of him. Tried to lay it off to his countryman.
Bold hoping to pull even before they head to the locker room. Chuamasi from 18, shut down by Shuttleworth. And the 1-goal lead still intact, and Bobby Shuttleworth goes down with that right shoulder.
What a save from the Empire State native. Low, hard, driven to the post. That is a tough one to get your eye on. Shuttleworth signaling that he's okay.
And that was nearly instant. They are going to call half, not an injury timeout. As the first 45 plus in the books, Shuttleworth comes up with one final stop. Will he be good to go, or will it be Rafael Diaz in the second half between the pipes for Republic? Sacramento on the road tonight, 3 points behind Austin, up 1 goal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play the ATV game again and get another beer.
By Ascension Seton, the official medical provider and sports medicine partner of your Austin Bold. By Courtyard by Marriott. Step up your stay at the Courtyard Austin Pflugerville, where winners feel at home. And by H-E-B, the official grocery store of your Austin Bold. No store does more than H-E-B. Sacramento Republic with their lone trip to the capital city of Texas, halfway home to taking 3 points back out west.
And it's my pleasure to welcome all of you to Del Seton Medical Center at the University of Texas for a very exciting announcement this morning, to where we're announcing that Ascension Seton is both the title sponsor and the medical provider for the new Austin Bold here in Texas. So we're very excited for that. So when the players, athletes, or families need care, we're going to be there and have the people available for you on the field. And you can rest assured that Ascension Seton and our affiliated physicians will be ready to serve. And so with that, I'd like to welcome up to the stage the owner of our new soccer team, the Austin Bold, Bobby Epstein.
You know, I was trying to think of a lot of the similarities, and there are a lot of similarities between Ascension Seton and the work they do, and the Austin Bold, and the work we try and do. With all the giving you do, we want to be meaningful too. And for that, and to show our commitment to this community, the Bold are going to give 5% of all their ticket sales to Dell Children's Hospital.
Santa Costa. The attempt at an amazing goal! Or maybe a goal of the year candidate from Rodrigo da Costa.
This sign as well.
That's a good point. Let's wait and see if they do.
As Kamara absolutely flies past Tete for pace. Here's Kamara! And a brilliant save from Cody Mizell. Mohamed Kamara is causing problems.
Mikey Rowe now. Rowe takes it on, and it's in! What a strike! And Tormenta, they strike first! Silva will have a hit. Oh, good save by Majimadu. Torre will shoot. Oh. He will score. Javon Torre. That's the day that you walked in. Oh, something's done it. Oh my goodness. Lubin, what a save. Outstanding individual effort. They stand together.
Well, the ultimate goal is to light that tower solid teal by the end of the night for a victory for the Bold. As again, this match brought to you by Dell Children's Ascension, the official charity partner of Austin Bold FC. By Courtyard by Marriott. Step up your stay at the Courtyard, Austin Pflugerville, where winners feel at home. And by HEB, the official grocery store of your Austin Bold. No store does more than HEB. Well, the most you can do tonight, 3 points here in these 90 minutes. It would bolster the resume of both of these teams, each at the moment slightly separate goals, but either of these teams could easily be left out of the dance as tight as things are in the West.
Oh, without a doubt. You look at the top three. Phoenix is already in. They booked their spot in the playoffs. Fresno, Reno, right there. They have that advantage. But 4 through 10, 3 points separating all those spots. Everybody looking to get into the playoffs and hopefully the top 4.
Oh, 47 goal differential for Phoenix. Just what a year it has been. And you just wonder, will there be some sort of hiccup when that postseason comes around? Take a look at our scoreboard with a slight bias towards the east early on for obvious reasons with the time zones as, well, Innie Voltson's former teammates take the decision 2-0 against the visiting Fury from Ottawa, and then right now level heading into the 70th minute between Swope Park and Charleston. Of course, later on tonight, Wednesday night soccer, Las Vegas and Phoenix. Can the lights end the run of Phoenix? Even a draw would be a win of sorts for Vegas, albeit just the 1 point variety. Well, we take a look at some of the Nuggets, of course. On September 11th, Austin Bold made it a priority to reach out to first responders, free admission to take in soccer tonight. Get the next 2 home matches slightly earlier. That's not going to be an issue if the weather behaves like it is tonight. Those next 2 home matches, by the way, you could also call them the last 2 home matches unless Austin is able to host in the opening round. And, well, that broken leg may be healing just in time for Troncoso to bolster this group for the Bold's push.
And how big would that be if they're able to get the Chilean Jorge Troncoso back for a final push in the regular season? He was back. He's training. Not quite 100%, but he is going to be back next week, and that is great news for the Bold.
He has been out since April, just 8 matches into the campaign. Both teams in the locker room right now. Sacramento Republic hanging on to a 2-1 advantage.
To the Dell Medical School at UT Austin means we have the most pediatric
Your stay at the Courtyard Marriott Austin Pflugerville and Pflugerville Conference Center, the official hotel partner of the Austin Bold Football Club, where winners feel at home. Go to austinboldfc.com/partners to make your reservation.
So I said, find a job, any job, work hard. That's just how it is. But of course you didn't listen. You showed me there's another way. I'm proud of you.
Austin Bold FC would like to thank Professional Turf Products and the Toro Company for maintaining the world-class pitch and the surrounding green space at the Bold Stadium. Whether you're maintaining the soccer field or just working on your yard at home, you can always count on Toro.
The Toro Time Cutter zero-turn mower. Crafted by people who have devoted their lives to the idea that creating a beautiful yard starts with a perfect design. Durable construction, award-winning innovation like Smart Card, Smart Speed, our own V-twin engine, and Toro's professional quality of cut. The Toro Time Cutter. I build it, I own it, I count on it.
Available at your independent Toro.
Sacramento able to strike for the first 2 goals tonight. Austin did pull one back. We take a look at how the opening 45 minutes unfolded, Kit. Both teams very pleased with who they are able to go to between the posts. Of course, Restrepo for the Bold, Shuttleworth for Sacramento, each tested in the early minutes.
Diego Restrepo, a massive save for Austin. Then on the other end, a chance for the Bold. Bobby Shuttleworth was up to the task. Goalkeepers doing their jobs early on, kept it scoreless until this moment. Iwasa, Eni Voldson, that combination has been potent, and Austin just left Eni Voldson wide open. He put the visitors on top 1-0.
Second straight week, they have combined for a goal and then some insurance after a little miscue on the back line.
A miscue indeed. The deflection, Austin not quite sure what to do with it. Talk about wide open. Formella, no one in the vicinity and able to knock it in, but the response came quickly from Austin, and it had to. McFarland with the assist. Right on a dime. Kleber heads it in and made it 2-1. That is our score at half.
7th goal for Kleber has the Bold back within 1. As we take a look at the numbers, what stands out to you?
Shots on target. You look for Austin. They're out shooting Sacramento Republic, but Sacramento Republic, they are on target. Those shots are on the frame and the corner kicks. The set pieces in favor of the visitors by a large margin.
Well, both these teams in the postseason hunt. Let's take a look at what is just around the bend. First up for Sacramento, again, the road test night. Then they will welcome South Texas's RGV, the Toros, to the capital city of California before coming back over to the Central Time Zone to take on OKC.
Big games coming up for them, but right now it's all about getting this win tonight and hopefully being in the top 4 for Austin. 3 more games, including tonight at home, Reno on Sunday, then Las Vegas, and then they are on the road. The final 4 matches of the regular season, all on the road for Austin, where they have not had a lot of success this year.
Trip out west to Portland, Salt Lake City, and then El Paso will have a big say in whether the Bold are in the postseason and whether they get to host if they in fact do extend their inaugural campaign. Again, a lot of great things to access on the USL Championship website these days. You check out the Culture Collection for the latest reveals. USL Coach of the Month, Rick Shantz, wins that award for a 2nd time already, and pretty soon they'll just be able to name the award after him and give it to whoever is not Rick Shantz. And then, of course, back from international duty, a lot of players at the USL Championship getting to represent their home countries as, again, it is always a great day to check in on social media for all the many, many storylines around the league. Let's check in with Jessica Stamp, who's had a chance to check in on some of the storylines on the tip of the coaches' minds.
Well, Lincoln, right now, the big one is, will Shuttleworth go back in goal? Rafael Diaz, the Dominican international, has been warming up the entire halftime to maybe step in for Shuttleworth. Right now, it looks like Shuttleworth's going to try and give it a go. For the Bold, Serrano was in the assistant referee's ear right before the half about all those entanglements in and around the box. But something about that team is really they need urgency in and around that box. They're letting the Republic get back in on defense and really stack numbers in the box before they can get a shot off. So a key for the Bold here in the second half is, can they attack with a little bit more urgency when they get into that offensive third? Lincoln?
Jessica, thank you very much. Again, we will keep an eye as Sacramento has all 3 substitutes available coming into the second half. Shuttleworth, you saw grimace in pain.
Fans, it is time for the start of the
He is starting here in the second half in the neon green.
He was grabbing his shoulder. He made a big save to keep that 1-goal lead for the visitors. Sacramento very happy to see him back in goal to start this second half.
Yeah, the difference between Sacramento and a younger side, when they have been put backs against the wall in the box, they have avoided committing the penalties, while at the same time able to maintain physicality with some confidence.
Jessica's right, Austin. They get numbers forward, but they have to move quickly. Not traditionally a team that likes to counter that much. They like to possess. But just talking about those, getting those passes off quicker, playing the combination, as opposed to just having the ball at one player's boots for 2, 3, 4 seconds at a spell.
Both sides with quality options to come off the bench here in the second half. Of course, the man who For a long time was a super sub, Chris Tierpak, for the Bold before he became a regular starter. But available on the bench tonight. His biggest highlight is coming on in the second half with his lone hat trick of the year in 45 minutes of play. Kleber's goal, that header, pulling the Bold back within one. The difference maker right now is the only goal this year for Formella for Sacramento, and just his second start on the season for Coach Elliott Squan.
And that was just a defensive miscue on the part of the visitors, and I think they would absolutely admit that. Everything else was solid all the way through the defense, midfield, forwards. Everyone did their job, but that one lapse gave Austin a chance to pull one back and make it a one-goal game. If you're Sacramento, just get back to the way you played the first 30 minutes. They were dominant. But for Austin, they have to move quicker, particularly on the offensive end. And you want to see the midfield get involved. Javi Baez, not a lot of touches. Valeri Saramutin, I don't know that we called his name once in the first half.
Well, so many times Austin brings it up with their forwards on a quick counter, and that has taken the ball away from Baez with his creativity and vision.
Yeah, Javi Baez played for Chivas, Guadalajara, won the CONCACAF Champions League with La Máquina Cementera of Cruz Azul. A great resume. He can play defensively. But he's been the engine, the workhorse, the unsung hero for large stretches of the season for Austin, and they need to get him involved. Wassa and Taylor colliding, but neither any worse for wear as they both pop up, ready to get back to it.
As again, Tainter celebrating his 25th birthday here in Austin, as I assume Sacramento has been told about 6th Street.
I'm sure he has as well.
They would love to be celebrating 3 points down on 6th Street tonight. I don't think they even charge for parking downtown on a Wednesday night. Sacramento certainly not going to do any bus parking here in this matchup.
No, they could ill afford to. That's not the style of Simon Elliott. His team likes to play. Both these teams play an attractive brand of soccer. Good stuff there from Baez, able to win it from Skundrich.
They'll be standing the whole time despite buying a seat. Lincoln Rose, Kip McConico with you, along with Jessica Stamp. Great to have you with us on a Wednesday night for USL Championship Soccer here in the West. Sacramento sitting in 7th right now, Bold in 4th, and only on few occasions have the Bold dipped lower than number 4 in the past couple of months this summer. With that said, the rest of the pack is just waiting for an opportunity to climb up and over the teal and black.
In the last 3 months, the Bold haven't sat below 6th place in the Western Conference. They've been in 4th pretty much for the last month and a half, 2 months. But it is so tight, so close in the standings. One mistake, one miscue. They got the draw last week on the road at Colorado Springs, a match that Marcelo Serrano thought his side should have won. He said they had better opportunities, couldn't take advantage. And if they only come out of this match tonight with a draw, or dare I say even a loss, I don't know that they'll be able to come back from that.
Marcelo Serrano has no interest in starting his off-season vacation before November. And back to Shuttleworth.
Good to see Andre Lima pressing, working. That's what Austin is going to have everyone in teal and black giving their all in the second half.
If memory serves me, Austin has come back once this year from down 2 to salvage a point. Bold would still like to find a path to 3, but at least one, as there's one of your entanglements, and this will be Bold corner kick, but at the moment, some concern for Sacramento.
Sonny Guardarama able to ride out the would-be tackle, wins the corner for Austin. He needed to play that ball quicker. He allowed the defender to come back in.
Yeah, McCrary had that arm hooked and went for a rip. Now, he may have gotten the worst of it at the end.
It looked like McCrary may have caught an elbow at the very end of that, but Sonny G has to send that ball into the box. Just a touch too many there.
And Braffine will concede this corner to Guadarrama. You see the wind. And Shuttleworth keep the troops organized. Senton. Sacramento with the first touch. Iwasa trying to track this one down.
Kleber doing a good job pressuring, keeps possession for Austin.
Neither of these sides are going to be bullied. You see just how physical they are.
You're not going to see any dives from either one of these teams. These are big physical teams. It's the style they like to play. Anyone who says soccer is a non-contact sport, you're clearly not watching the right matches.
Second half just underway. Austin sitting in fourth, Sacramento in seventh, 3 points back of the bowl, but again, a swing in any direction. And these two teams could just as easily be left out of the picture altogether come late October.
Yeah, they know that. Every match, paramount. And when you're at home, have to get the full three, settling for a draw, which Austin is going to have to work to get a draw to come back and trailing a goal. I don't know that that's going to be enough. And poor turnover there, Brofide. Miscommunication between he and Sonny Guadarrama. And again, you look at the table, Austin in fourth on 40 points. OKC, that final playoff position in 10th, just 3 points separating those teams.
Again, it's surprising Austin's still in fourth. They have not had a winning streak since they won back-to-back in late June. Not in July, not in August.
And Austin, to be perfectly honest, they've been the beneficiaries of some results from other teams further down the table in the Western Conference. They've been helped out by their opponents.
Austin this year has never won more than 2 games in a row. What they have done is picked up enough wins to counter their losses, not settling for as many draws as a lot of teams. At least they've captured enough 3 points rather than settling for 1 at home. They do have 2 losses at home. Otherwise, they have maximized their results here in Austin. Guadarrama sends it in, looking for the equalizer, was looking for Kleber, but the Brazilian will be called for the foul.
That good ball in, that's what you want if you're Austin. Kleber, a hand in the back of the defender, draws the whistle.
Kleber turned 36 this last month. Found his 7th goal of the campaign earlier tonight to cut the deficit in half.
Yeah, he and Andre Lima together, we talked about the pairing of Iwasa and Nini Voltson. Something similar between Andre Lima and Kleber. They played together previously back in Grêmio, Giants of Brazilian football down in Porto Alegre. They're good friends on and off the pitch.
I mentioned Ray Sari not available for Sacramento tonight. What an impressive story, of course, that young man is. Past couple of years with the Seattle system and now with Sacramento. Most familiar now with his story of childhood stage 4 cancer, which he was not only able to overcome, but then still go on to be such a talented athlete professionally. Part of it was his mom recognizing his future. They went with a slightly different chemotherapy treatment that would be a little kinder to his lungs. Sacramento Republic doing a great job this past week with that story. Raffon.
The combination between Brofide and Sonny Guadarrama, I don't know why, but they are not on the same page. That is the 3rd time by my count that they have turned the ball over, those two. And you see Brofide shaking his head, obviously frustrated. They really have to figure that one out and quickly.
Brofide eyes up the pitch, sees Lima. From the edge of the 18, an opportunity. Lima sends in across, looking for Chuamasi, but Sacramento had a chance to get organized during that time.
And Andre Lima just needs to put that ball on frame, take the shot from outside the 18. Beautifully cut back by Brofide. He laid it off to the big Brazilian. And Lima, too unselfish in that situation. Take the shot, force the goalkeeper into a save. Maybe he splays a rebound, and Kleber's there to pounce on it.
Brofide into Bias. Not many are going to outduel the 6'1" Lima.
And a good switch of field there. Good ball played from Akugo. Saw the open space here to the near touch line.
Kleber inside the area. Still dangerous. Rafi back post was looking for Lima. And Sacramento still not off the hook.
Good build up here from Austin.
And somehow that goes unnoticed.
And not quite sure how that didn't draw the whistle of our referee. An obvious push in the back.
And Sacramento, to their credit, did not give up the equalizer despite the poking and prodding from Austin.
Now the defense has done its job for the Republic. Austin turning the screws.
Baez has Lima, top of the 18, and Chuamasi to his left. They'll reset with Brafon.
They need to make that overlapping run quicker. That's where Baez was pointing.
Shuttleworth all alone back in his 18.
And great defense. The shape kept perfectly by Sacramento. Everybody in the right spot.
Ole, McFarland sends one in. And insufficient postage as it is returned to sender.
McFarland did everything except for the final ball. He beat his defender, did so in a brilliant fashion.
Guadarrama again looking for the feet of Lima.
But Lima flanked by two defenders. And Austin would be better served to send that ball behind Lima to the top of the 18 where they have more numbers.
And a corner being awarded to the Bold here. Brafon to do the honors. Can Sacramento maintain its composure for one more set piece here?
All the focus on Lima. You wonder if Austin would consider pulling him away, using him as a decoy and trying to get some of those defenders out of the 6.
Brafon with his left boot. Looking for McFarland on that front post. And Sacramento just continues to hold off the Bold and hang on to that 1-goal advantage here on the road.
This is better from Austin. This is how they want to play, dictating the style, dominating possession.
Mahoney trying to slow down the attack, winning the header briefly. But it's back in black with the Bold. Kleber for the brace. Just unable to bend it inside the woodwork.
He had it teed up, laces tightened, knew where he wanted to put it, just inches off. Giving Chuamasi a lot of credit. He rode out the tackle, used his size. Kleber saw it the whole way, but just couldn't get enough bend on it.
This is Sean's angle at it. Nobody more composed than our man on that in line. And there is Bijev coming on for Formella, who found his first goal. Will it prove to be his first game winner on the year?
Formella does his job, and Julian Bijev now coming on to take his spot.
9th appearance off the bench this year for Bijev, now in his 19th match this season, 2nd year with Sacramento.
Captain by both the U.S. U18, U20 teams, as well as the Bulgarian U21 national team for the Sofia native.
At 18 years old, he was signing a contract with some team called Liverpool. 1 hour complete here in Austin. Diego Restrepo seen 2 get past him. He has seen, though, the Bold pull one back. This is the final meeting between these two sides in the regular season. Could they meet in the postseason as well?
And interesting here, Restrepo not taking the goal kick. Akugo will come over to do it. I don't know that I've seen that this entire season from Restrepo.
Not from the Bold. Sacramento trying to bring it right back.
I wonder if that means Restrepo has picked up a knock of some kind. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
McCrary back up ahead to Iwasa. Iwasa sitting on a baker's dozen this year. And no concern for Restrepo. So here's Chuamasi, who at times has been marked by Jordan McCrary. And as hard as it is to run with Chuamasi, McCrary was hanging with him, remember, right before that clever shot, backpedaling, and he'll try to do it again here. Ema trying to curve it in.
Great idea, looking for Andre Lima, just too tall, but all the white and gray kids behind the ball. Austin has not had a numerical advantage in any counterattacking opportunity tonight.
Jermaine Taylor able to keep Cameron Iwasa off that one.
And conversely, Sacramento, they're content to go to numerical disadvantage in their counter. They've gone 1-on-3, 2-on-5 at times.
Raffon. And Guadarrama's not your man for that one.
You'd like to see Brafide either take another touch, improve his angle, and take the shot, or try to hit Lima.
First personnel move for the Bold as Sarah Mooten comes off in favor of Beto Avila, who makes his second straight appearance for the Bold off the bench. We saw him in Colorado Springs put up a half hour, which was his longest stay in championship play, his third appearance overall here in league play after making his debut in the Open Cup.
Avila, the local product, Austin area native.
Well, we saw Diego allow Okugo to handle the goal kick a moment ago. Jessica has more.
Yeah, Lincoln. So apparently Diego Restrepo is nursing a little bit of a knee issue, and he's just trying to take care of it and be wise.
Understandably, though, he'll be leaping as high as anybody on that knee if the Bold had found a goal right there to pull level. Back line of Restrepo making sure it doesn't get to the man in goal.
Austin, as healthy as they've been, maybe at any time this season, you considering they made it through the summer months in such great condition.
So both these goalkeepers have had some slight knocks to deal with. Kleber turns and fires. Shuttleworth has to have his head on a swivel against these veterans around the 18. Bold more often not landing on these 50-50s. One Bold player down in the area. Okugo. And Sacramento may finally have a chance to breathe.
Austin has a fantastic backup goalkeeper, but they're hoping they won't have to use him.
And Okugo will be called for that foul. Oh, and this is going to bring out some color. Wow.
Maybe Okugo sees the caution. A few words after the fact, not pleased with that.
So he and Brafide each playing on a yellow now for the final half hour.
Presented to the Austin Bold in the 65th minute, number 15, Amobi Okugo.
Former UCLA Bruin, Generation Adidas man, drafted by Philadelphia Union. Began his professional career there in MLS. Multi-talented as well, runs a website called A Frugal Athlete. Gives financial advice to professional athletes.
Well, the Republic with a short-lived offensive look that time. They've been on their heels a lot here in the second half. Not intentional.
No.
They would love to find insurance and avoid an equalizer.
Austin defense much improved in this second half. The formation has stayed the same, still three across the back. Okugo, Taylor, McFarland just doing a better job defensively. And assisted by Baez.
Guadarrama last year with San Antonio FC, the closest he had a chance to play professionally at home until the emergence of the Bold this year. Before that, a decade in Mexico.
And I said it was always his dream to represent his hometown at the professional stage. Played for Dorados of Sinaloa and also Santos Laguna before coming back stateside.
To the 18-year-old, to Lima. Able to settle it for the left. The corner kick coming up. A brilliant stop on that back line, stepping between Lima and the finish line.
Oh, what a job defensively. Lima, a great ball played into him. And Mahoney at the last second, take a look, dives in, able to send it out. Maybe a goal-saving tackle.
Again, the former Temple Owl, Matt Mahoney, making sure Shuttleworth did not have to get in front of that one. Leon McFarland has been among the more enjoyable competitors to watch in the USL Championship this year.
Well, what a year he's had. And I have a feeling there's some MLS teams that have had an eye on him, maybe a few overseas as well.
Simon Elliott will make the next move in this chess match. That substitution will have to wait just a moment. But he'll be using his second sub of the night.
Substitution being made by Sacramento Republic FC in the 68th minute. Coming off number 10, Kevin Aleman. Coming on number 2.
So Kenan comes on for Aleman as Declan is on for that back line, a guy who spent 8 years in the Israeli Premier League, including 2 titles in that league.
Yeah, great football there in Israel and continuing to improve, going up against some top talent.
Of course, he captained Cincinnati's USL Championship side last year.
And he has great experience playing for Maccabi Haifa, played in the UEFA Cup Champions League for the 2-time league champions there at the Israeli League.
Again, both these teams with some great options off the bench. And just a toss here for the Bold. And another corner kick here for Austin. Will this be the set piece that finally goes home?
Well won by Austin. Shuttleworth organizing the troops, getting everyone organized there defensively.
Shuttleworth, through his first 4 matches with Sacramento Republic, was stopping 80% of the shots on frame coming at him. Short option with Guadarrama. They'll look to go deeper. And a foul on the Bold in that congested box as Shuttleworth punched it initially out.
Yeah, a ton of contact. Shuttleworth unable to get to it.
Another look.
A good ball in. Brofide put it into a dangerous area, and you see Lima always in the vicinity, particularly in those set pieces.
If he wasn't going to send the ball into the back of the net, why not send the goalkeeper?
One or the other.
Not sure what VAR would have to say about that. Approaching conclusion to the 70th minute, you're looking at one of the talented Jamaicans that have shined brightly here in the USL Championship. The Bold, of course, with a handful.
And that Jamaican with a big presence across the league. Great opportunity for them to show their stuff.
So still scoreless in the East for those Rangers of Swope Park in action tonight. Got to find a way to actually make Swope Park compatible for the Rangers to return to that venue. Such a great home for them.
But for Austin, you wonder when that next change will come. Thinking particularly about Francis Atuahene, one of the 2 on loan from FC Dallas. So far, Beto Avila, who came on as a sub and plugged in up top, has not been a factor.
Bold had to come back for a point on the road this weekend against Colorado Springs. Meanwhile, Sacramento was snapping a slight losing skid with a 3-0 shutout of Tacoma. So both were playing some struggling sides. The difference was Bold saw a couple of points elude them. Iwasa, will he try to finish or give it up? And somehow Baez and Okugo in the same spot avoid an own goal.
The miscommunication just continues defensively for Austin, and that is not a good sign. Iwasa all by his lonesome. No one in the vicinity, and finally Brofide comes in to shut him down because he had to. But I think in that situation, if you're a Sacramento fan, you want to see Cam take the shot.
We've already seen Iwasa to Annie Volton once. Almost saw it again right there. Now it's the Bold not in the clear yet, as corner will be handled by Bijev. Third year with Sacramento, keeps it low. Okugo.
Poorly taken there, easily cleared away by Austin. Massive tackle.
Chuamasi was slipping into fifth gear, but without the ball. Now we'll run on for the 50-50. Chuamasi from 18. And so many gray shirts flooding around 45, and he'll be called for the foul.
And you said it, as they've done all match long, Sacramento getting numbers back defensively, not giving Austin any chance in transition. What a job getting gray kids back there. And just when it looked like Chuamasi was going to be off to the races, you see three of them come into the picture and no opportunity to take the shot. Bijev ultimately the one who's able to stab it away.
The birthday boy may have struggles blowing out the candles. You assume the wind has just been knocked out of Mitchell Tainter there. As he landed right on top of that ball. And Shuttleworth will say everybody head to the opposite half of the pitch. Well, somehow this match has been both physical and free-flowing.
It's been a fantastic match. It's been a great one to watch, particularly if you're a neutral fan. You've seen it all, the ebb and flow. Austin has dominated at times. The first 30 minutes, it was all Sacramento. The second half has been pretty even.
18-year-old gets tucked down.
Austin has had more possession, more opportunities, but they haven't been able to find the equalizer.
Brafod just toying with the defender. Guadarrama turns, eyes the teenager. And this will slip away from Avila. An opportunity lost.
Austin just seemingly out of ideas offensively, and you can credit that to the Sacramento Republic defense. They've stymied Austin at every turn, even when Austin has had possession. Haven't been able to do much with it.
Beto Avila out of Hutto.
There you go.
And we are going to get a caution sent the way of Shuttleworth for trying to make a little time on the clock disappear.
Yeah, I think that one came a little quick.
I think at least half the people tuning in agree with you.
Yeah, Shuttleworth, obviously goalkeepers will take as much time off the clock as they can, but it wasn't, at least in my opinion, an obvious case of time wasting there.
A yellow card presented.
Okugo intervenes as Sacramento was starting to tilt the pitch, and there's a foul on Avila for throwing that arm. We're about to have another substitution, a pair of them for the Bold. This will do it for Marcelo Serrano.
Francis Atuahene is not one of the new additions. I would be absolutely flabbergasted. Well, there he is on the left alongside Tomate Villardi.
So Sonny Guadarrama will come off for Atuahene, the second of the two on loan from FC Dallas. And as you mentioned, Toma Daviardi comes on for Ima Chuamasi, who was so busy through the first 75 minutes of this match, but still looking for that second goal.
Chuamasi, obviously, He's been a factor, and you could argue that he's been the best of the Austin Field players in this match.
Coming on, number 21.
His countryman, Atua Hene, is going to have to take his place, pressing up and down. Really needs to show his speed. Diviardi, he will plug in as an attacking midfielder.
And a foul on Sacramento, colliding with the goalkeeper, the Restrepo. And you have a limp Republic attacker still down. And again, this is not a loss of breath for Tainter.
And you said it.
Scary moment here.
It's been a physical game. It continues here. Big collision between Restrepo and the birthday boy Tainter.
Now, we haven't seen him move. There's the first movement with that left foot, but the only reason not too concerned was the fact that everybody around him not necessarily asking the trainer to hurry, but he will collide with Restrepo's left side here.
Yeah, just right in. Looked like he caught an elbow on the side of his head. And Iwasa was over there quickly. He looked down. He maybe got a few words from him.
So people hate American football references during soccer matches, but this is what USA football is trying to get rid of. When you go in, lower your head so you're not even making eye contact and you don't see what's coming at you. That is, again, the easiest way to get concussed.
Oh, it is. And both these players' eyes for the ball only. Neither saw the other, and obviously no malintent there. Both just trying to make a play.
Let's check in with Jessica.
Yeah, guys, obviously a very scary moment, as the worry is a concussion. Whenever a goalkeeper comes out on those punch-outs, his eye is on the ball. He is just trying to get his fists on that ball and get that ball up and out. So he doesn't really notice those other guys coming in and attacking with their head. So a lot of times you'll see those types of run-ins with each other. Now on the sideline, both the coaches are taking this moment to talk to their players about this final few minutes here of this half. It's really important, remember, for both these teams to get a result tonight, because they're both vying for that home field advantage in the playoffs.
Yeah, for Sacramento, what a difference it would be instead of 3 points if somehow 2 of those slipped away and Austin found an equalizer. And as much as Restrepo's left side may have been hurting from receiving the head of Tainter, he's mindful that he was the one better off in that exchange. And again, we're not doctors, but more often than not, that's going to be a concussion. And the reason for concern, 0% chance that Mitchell returns to this match.
Yeah, but good to see the former Toronto FC two-man back on his feet.
And they will use a substitution in a moment for him. You will see him lower his head when it collides with Restrepo here.
Like 7 minutes of added
right
time,
into, as you noted, the back of that elbow.
Yeah, the left elbow right to the side of his head immediately, grabbing at that temple area or thereabouts.
Well, we thought we were going to be able to go all night without mentioning Harris. Anzopoulos, as the 25-year-old from Greece spent his most recent stop in Division I of Finland.
They played for Armenia Bielefeld U23 side in Germany. Nice resume.
Daviardi sends out wide to Brafond. Bold have made all 3 of their subs. And Brafond will win a corner here.
Seeing a bit of a spring in the step of the Bold players. 10 minutes remaining. The fans, La Cinco Doce, doing the best they can to cheer them on.
Fans, make some noise for your Austin Bold. There's the corner kick.
Trying to level this one at 2. Avila. Angle not acute enough.
To a Hene, just difficult there. Leaned back enough to send that one over the crossbar. It's just such a tough technique to keep your body down. You're trying to put power on it, but if you don't keep your body on top of that ball, it's going to sail every time.
Again, a reminder that Wednesday Night Soccer continues with the Spotlight game between Phoenix and the Lights.
There you go, Beto.
This will be an electrifying edition of Wednesday night soccer. High-flying Phoenix Rising FC travels to the City of Lights to take on Las Vegas. Avila still on it. Daviardi, this one will get away. A couple of the subs here in the second half. Well, as we talk about Beto Avila, fans, again, we remind you the USL unveiled its elite youth program, the USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. But we're going to see more and more teenagers with local ties getting quality opportunities with their local teams.
That's a great thing for the growth of this game, to get the kind of coaching they're going to see in these programs, opportunities for them to be seen. And well, we all want the same thing. We want the U.S. men to do what the women have done and one day be able to hoist that World Cup.
Many of you tuning in tonight, either on ESPN Plus or locally in Austin on KBVO. A reminder that matchup between Phoenix and Las Vegas later this evening is on ESPN3. That's a separate service for many of you provided by your internet or cable provider. Bold still looking for that equalizer. They'll come up about 12 inches shy. Shuttleworth tonight has done just enough. It was 2-0. Bold pulled one back in the first half. Both teams scoreless here in the second half.
He took a big shot at the end of the first half. Weren't quite sure that he would play in the second half, but he has. And exactly what we saw in the first 45 minutes from Shuttleworth. Consistent between the sticks.
Playing the advantage. You got the ball. Stop complaining to the foul. Keep playing.
Trying to level this one. A corner kick coming up for Austin.
That's what Austin needed from Francis Atuahene, to do something with the ball in his boots, and he does there, finds enough room to win the corner, shows his speed.
Urgency for Austin. Will this be the one for Brafon? Into the masses, Sacramento with the first touch, unable to clear. Asking you shall receive. But McFarland just not tall enough for that. Let's check back in with Jessica. Not the birthday that Mitchell Tainter had hoped for.
No, it is worried a concussion has happened. Elbow from Diego Restrepo hit Tainter right on the temple, and they're really concerned that it might be a concussion. He was talking as he was coming off the field very gingerly. He is in the locker room being evaluated.
Yeah, Jessica, thank you very much. As again, when you can't see the ball, you also can't see what else might be coming, and the moment his eyes went down, you become so vulnerable, especially when a goalkeeper is coming out to punch that ball away.
Yeah, you certainly hope he's okay. He played a fantastic match. He did a great job defensively.
And Austin will halt its own attack here with the foul. Time is ticking. Sacramento getting closer to claiming the full 3 points with a regular season sweep of Austin. It'd be yet another California side finding success here in the state capital.
And for all the talk about Nini Voltson, Iwasa, and the rest of those strikers, the reason their defense is so good, 11 clean sheets this season, 4th best in the Western Conference with only 29 goals conceded, now 30.
They've had a mix of 3 different goalkeepers. Talking about Sacramento, Tyler Blackwood no longer in the equation right now. Rafael Diaz thought perhaps he'd be coming on for the second half for Bobby Shuttleworth on loan from Minnesota United of Major League Soccer. Can Sacramento put a nail in things here with a 3rd goal? Bijev They'll keep it short, take some time. And they'll allow that to play out. Restrepo able to recover. As a little run in there with Anzopoulos.
Such little time remaining, Austin just has to send everyone forward. If they're going to lose this match, it doesn't matter if they lose by 1 or 2 goals. They have to do everything they can to find the equalizer and try to salvage a point.
Stoppage time here in the second half would include the subs as well as the injury. Not quite enough on that one. But Okugo will send it back in the right direction towards Baez. And a foul coming up on Sacramento after no advantage for the Bold. Now, this yellow came out at an interesting time. I believe it's on Sacramento, but the Bold was protesting vigorously that they did not get to play out the advantage.
They are absolutely furious, the Bold and their fans. There was a clear advantage there as that ball got through. Referee.
And it almost would have been a rare yellow for dissent after you had the foul called for you.
He elected to bring it back. It stopped things, and it stopped the momentum.
I would not have been surprised if it had been Marcelo Serrano receiving that yellow. He sprang out of his seat in protest. But instead, the caution for Sacramento. I think that's a trade they'll take.
At this stage of the game, Sacramento more than happy to quell that attack and take the yellow.
Bold stay here at home Sunday. They welcome Reno to town. They played Reno in their second ever match over in Nevada, 2-1 the final. Kleber scored the first ever goal for the Bold. He has scored the only goal tonight as flag up on Sacramento.
And if Sacramento can hold on, if they can pick up the victory tonight here in the Lone Star State, they will take Austin's place, at least momentarily, in 4th place. They still have a game in hand. This would be absolutely huge for the Republic.
You saw that wrap on the left knee of Restrepo, playing a little banged up. We saw him forego a goal kick, allowing Okugo to take his place. Bold right now really wanting to make it worthwhile once they push forward. This is the most tentative they have been for much of this match. Anzopoulos gets the better of that exchange a moment ago. And now a foul on McFarland. Has to be careful.
A lot of contact there from McFarland.
Barahona down right now.
He's had an absolutely outstanding game. McFarland lucky that he doesn't see yellow for this one. A clear foul. Barahona is just, he has been the man defensively. What a job he's done. Good to see him back on his feet. He appears that he'll be able to walk it off.
Signed this past May. Which means his tenure easily predates that of Bobby Shuttleworth coming down from Minnesota.
And it's impressive how quickly these new additions to Sacramento have been able to find themselves and gel. We talked about Shuttleworth, Innie Voltson, guys who've been with this team for a period of months, some of them weeks.
This one's not over yet. That one won't die down, but 6 minutes of free soccer coming at you.
But Austin caught a break there. I figured it may be 5 minutes tops, but they have 6. That's plenty of time to work with.
That can't go fast enough for Sacramento or slow enough for Austin. Shuttleworth playing on a yellow. Annie Voltson punched away by Restrepo. Corner kick coming up for Sacramento as they will keep the pitch tilted in this direction.
Big save and a nice shot from Annie Voltson. Knew every step he was running himself out of angle, didn't have any help coming. Why not? A good shot for the man from Denmark.
Again, a couple of braces in recent home matches, looking for one on the road tonight. Bijev will handle the corner now on this end. He got the start in the midfield this past weekend. Short corner here. And they'll let him play. Breathing room for Austin, but nothing more than that. Right back over to the back line of Sacramento. A battle of state capitals tonight. 3 points already reside from the first match back in Sacramento, California. They're trying to take another 3 home. We're used to things coming from California and staying in Austin. Homeowners, traffic. Sacramento Republic, I'm told, do have a return trip. There is a Republic player down right now as you are looking at Bijev. And the fans question the sincerity of this as he holds his nose.
Bijev, who picked up a yellow of his own just a few minutes ago.
May have bloodied that nose.
Well, Sacramento, they are more than content to come into the Lone Star State, pick up their 3 points, and hop a plane right back to the Golden State as he collides with a Golden State native.
I'm not sure if he hit the thumb of Okugo. And we'll see how that weighs into the 6 minutes of stoppage time. All 3 goals in the first half. The first 2 to Sacramento. That last one got past Shuttleworth off the head of Kleber. Can't really pin it on Bobby.
We thought when Austin got down 2-0, it was going to be a long night. They were able to respond just seconds after giving up that second goal. Kleber had the header, but that's the lone goal for Austin. They have not been able to get another, I should say, by Shuttleworth.
Open man on the left.
Taylor. Limited opportunities remain for Austin. Right now, they are just playing, hoping for 1 point here at home after trailing virtually the entire match.
Give Sacramento a lot of credit. They came into this match, they knew what they wanted to do, they had a good game plan, and they've executed it. Austin, after a draw on the road at Colorado Springs, a match that they thought they should have won, just looking at where the switchbacks were in the table, Austin did not bring a full-strength squad.
So Sacramento is going to get the injury pause here. This ball goes off the ankle, and that's what takes out the man down at the moment. As, again, this is Iwasa, and as many times as he has punished a ball this year, apparently one got the better of him. If we have the replay, you'll see the ball kicked, and he'll take a deflection off that left foot, and he's been down ever since. Over under on the ball, receiving a yellow. Iwasa with the assist on Annie Voltson's first goal tonight. That goal has been matched by Kleber. Right now, the difference maker is Formella's first goal this year, as Dariush potentially with the game winner.
There's a yellow you wanted for the
Danny Voltson draws the yellow. Strange turn of events here in the final few minutes. The question is, how much time will we have remaining with all the stops here in stoppage time?
You're about to see 96 on the clock, but we don't know if we are still a minute or two away. Baez likely to handle this one. And Shuttleworth thankful that that ball sent his way through a friendly. Well, this is where those of you at home can afford to watch the clock, but the men in black cannot. They need to take advantage of every moment they have. Sacramento can't just assume that whistle is coming either. Left-footed delivery, deflected wide. Corner kick coming up for Austin.
This may be their last chance. They're going to have to move quickly.
Tuahene, one of the three changes in the second half, will tee it up for Braffide. Well, practice makes perfect. This should be pretty close to a 10 out of 10 from Braffide. There's been no shortage of corners tonight. This one to swing outward off his left boot. And nobody there for the Bolt. Baez tests the waters. Is that enough? As Mr. Freeman checks his watch. Another corner for Austin. Shuttleworth able to end the first half on a final stop. Can he do so again here and claim the 3 points for Sacramento? From 18, Baez. And Lima will send it wide. That will do it. The last chance for Austin. Sacramento will sweep the Bold here in 2019 and becomes just the third club ever to leave Austin with 3 points.
Impressive stuff from Sacramento. They came in, a well-executed game plan, get the 3 points on the road. Just the third win here at Bold Stadium from a visitor this season.
Dariush Formella's first goal in just his 5th match for Sacramento proves to be his first game winner. When we come back, we chat with the man of the match as Republic find their 12th win on the year.
Sacramento Republic, 5% of tonight's ticket sales will be donated to Dell's Children's Hospital. And again, we appreciate your support for Austin Bold and the Dell's Children's Foundation. Don't forget, fans, to join us on Sunday, September 15th, as we host Reno. To purchase tickets, please visit austinboldfc.com or call 512-872-8700. Come join the Austin Bold in the Velocity Lounge for dinner and drinks. Open until 11 p.m.
And just like that, the Bold with only 2 home matches remaining, as Reno and Las Vegas September 15th and 22nd. After that, there'll be a gauntlet on the road for their final 4 matches in a playoff push. They are unable to capture points tonight, thanks in part to a man who scored 3 goals in the last 2 matches alone, Thomas Voltson. He is with Jessica.
Yes, Thomas, second game in a row, you're scoring for your team. This was a gritty performance tonight on the road. What did you like about your team's performance tonight?
That we show a different way to win. I mean, we've been playing some good games, we were good on the ball, created a lot of chances. We didn't do that today. Today was all about working as hard as we could. We did that, and we got the reward in the end.
So you leapfrogged the Bulls in the standings, and now you're looking good in terms of your position going into these last few games. What do you feel like the team needs to work on to secure that home field advantage in the playoffs?
Especially as today, when you play a difficult game on the road, that you're better on the ball. I mean, it started from the first minute where we lost a few duels. We were unsecure on the ball, made us some stupid passing mistakes, and we have to do that better, especially on the road.
Congratulations on this road win.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Again, he finds his 10th goal of the year. It was Iwasa finding him. Those two have been such a dynamic duo since they were united here late in the season with one another.
What an addition Indy Voltson has been. Iwasa obviously a known commodity. He leads this club in all-time goals scored, but to bring the Dane over, former Indy 11 man, he's been there for less than a month and a huge impact already.
Technically, Formella had the game winner, again, his first goal on the campaign. Kleber had the lone goal for the Bold. As for Kleber, his 7th scoring strike. All those goals came in the first half. Again, this match could have seen a lot more scoring. It was wide open. Plenty of physicality, and in the end, Sacramento, who played the better 90 minutes, able to capture all 3 points. And when you see the table, they're going to wake up after sleeping very well tonight, certainly enjoying what they see in the West.
As well they should. They rewarded with a complete game performance. They had a better 90 minutes. Austin played well in spurts, particularly to start the second half, but it was not enough after getting down 2-0, and they couldn't come back. And the visitors well won 3 points on the road.
Well, they look forward to celebrating with 10,000 of their closest friends back home when RGV comes to town as they return back to the Golden State for the Bold. We mentioned the next 2 matches are here at home, including Sunday against Reno, as they'll have a chance to bounce back quickly. Las Vegas then the next week, and after that, Portland, Salt Lake City, El Paso, Tacoma is how the Bold will finish its inaugural campaign, hoping they do enough to take one of these top 10 spots. And this is where we are now going into tonight's match between Phoenix and Las Vegas. Sacramento, as Jessica mentions, leapfrogs Austin with that game in hand on the Bold. And Sacramento now may control its own destiny on whether or not they get to host in that first round.
And for Austin, things don't get any easier hosting Reno in 3rd place in the Western Conference here at home on Sunday. They have to bounce back. They have to get a victory before going to the road. Right now, it's not about being in the top 4 for Austin. It's about staying in the playoff picture.
It's just the 3rd time all year Austin is denied points in front of the home crowd. For Kip McConico, Jessica Stamp, I'm Lincoln Rose. Sacramento sweeps the regular season campaign, and the 2-step with the Capitalist Texas side, Austin Bold. Tonight, the final 2-1 as the Republic claimed the valuable 3 points, and they find themselves among the top 4 in the USL Championship West.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.